going on, good people? Let me cut this off. Happy 2023 to all my good people out there. Trying to get myself all situated. Had a long day today. Happy New Year again. What's going on, good people? It's your boy. We back on the scene, crisp and clean. No caffeine, but it is 2023. I thank God for allowing us to make it another year. Some people did not make it. Some people had an exit this past year. And so, gotta be grateful for the things that you have. So, let me start off with our story today. I got a couple stories, man. But my first story today of 2023, man, I got to go holler at my neighbor. So my dog, my son, my kids, they walk the dogs every day. And we got this dude across the street from us, man, I like a good manicured lawn too. However, man, it's January. His grass is not growing. But he had to go out and say something to my son because my dog do it on his grass. So my son gonna go back and pick it up. He didn't have a bag on him that day. So he kind of went out there and kind of like cussed my son. So he lucky I just heard about it about maybe an hour ago. Because I would go over there and knock on his door. But I'm not going to do that. But tomorrow, when I get home, I'm going to holler at him. Because my thing is this here. It's like, hey, man, one is January. Nothing's your grass is not going to grow. It's not growing right now. It's not. It's cold. But, I don't understand why I got to go through these things, man. Why these adults, man? He wouldn't dare say that to me. But he'll say it to my son, who's not going to defend himself. My son handled it pretty well. My son is very respectful. But, even after he was trying to be respectful, he still had to, make sure, he had to, tell him, he got to follow his direction. So tomorrow, I'm going on to holler at him. Man to man, I'm going to be very polite. I'm going to say, hey, man, you got children, too. You wouldn't like if I came over there and talked to your children sideways over something small like shit on your grass when it's the wintertime. You know what? So, that's the problem. If this was summertime, he had just been out there all day. I get it. But, dog, man, your grass nobody's grass is growing. Nobody's grass. It's cold. Here in the South, it's still cold. Nobody's grass is growing. He wasn't out there slaving on that grass. I got to go holler at him. So that was my story today, man. I had to come at him. What's going on, Bassett? Get him on the board. A couple people I got to get on the board. It came through. GT in the building. Let me get y'all on the board real quick. AST. Hey, AST. You know what? Who else is in here today? Holly Pinky is in the chat tonight. I saw her name. I had to go on YouTube and look at the chat first because sometimes I miss people. For some reason, my chat don't pop up, right away from YouTube. I don't know why it doesn't do that. And I seen Holly's name on there. I said, oh, Holly Pinky. I haven't seen Holly Pinky she like ASC. She was like one of the original when I first started my channel, first started streaming. They were there. So giving a shout out to Holly. Welcome. Happy New Year. But let me go through everything I got to go through. Saying what's up to my good people. Candy in the building. KP. Candy, we both had hard days the other day. Both Michigan and Ohio State lost. So I can't really even crack no jokes on y'all because we got played. Y'all got played too, so we both got played together. I think it's a conspiracy. But I would take my L and move forward. So Candy says, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Dave Dub in the building. What's going on, Dave? Happy New Year to everyone. 90s is in the building with the Pikachu. Super MJ says, playing Fall Guys. You know what? I just saw Fall Guys is doing an update with what's the name of that movie? Bruno. I keep calling it Bruno. I know it's not Bruno. But I just remember, we don't talk about Bruno. No. So they're doing one of them updates with that. So I saw that today. Thought that was pretty dope. Steve M in the building. Happy New Year. Man, I needed y'all package to lose yesterday. So I don't know where my Lions might it might be a gift. It's got to be something. I think a bunch of things need to happen. I think for the Lions to get in the playoffs, and it might be out of it. I don't know. But the Lions won yesterday, smashed the Bears. But we know what we play the Packers for the last game. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I got to check in on ESPN to see how the playoff scene needs to unfold for the Lions to get in. Because to be honest, though, like I really want the Lions to get in because no matter what, we getting 2 first-round picks next year. Thanks to the Rams. Shout out to the Rams. Shout out to Matthew Stafford. I love Matthew Stafford was really good for the city of Detroit. So, I still, I still root for him. It's like I'm not a Georgia fan, but you know what? When Mike Vick wore the jersey, for Atlanta, I rooted for Mike Vick. I'm not a Chicago Bulls fan, but I rooted for MJ. So let's go. Sonic Knuckletail said lurking in both. Also, Super MJ, that's your YouTube as well. Good. Steve here said this thumbnail sure has a lot of green and yellow. That's funny, but it does. You are correct. CT in the building. Shot Town watching. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, my brother. AST said we made it to 2023. Everybody. You know what? Yeah, that's a blessing. You know what? AST and Holly, this thing about, listen. This is going on, I think, my 4th year. 4 years of this. It's crazy, right? Mendez in the business said Mendez didn't make it out of 2023 with a W. He did not. He ended out on the AL. He came close, though. He came real close to it. Oh, man. Football Bills game today, so I'll be lurking mostly as well. I got it. I got you. Bazawati said I finished Callisto Protocol. Okay, so Basil, rated 1 through 10, 10 being the highest. What would you give Callisto Protocol? And it is something that I need to definitely pick up. AST says, Holly, you got dedicated fans, Game Dad. You know what? Listen, Holly is my girl. You know what? I believe that when God will align you with good people. And you know what? Every person that has come through the chat has been like A1 people, all in their own right. Everybody kind of like different, but you know what? This really genuine people, and you don't get that. I mean, I've watched some other streams. You just don't get genuine people, and I have been blessed to attract genuine people to our channel, and so I'm very, very blessed and very, very happy because of that. Because I've been on other people's chats. I was like, man, these kids are some a-holes. I was like, man, if I seen you in the street, I might have to pop you in your mouth. But I'm very grateful that we have attracted a good crop of people, and so I'm very grateful. Kenny said, but the Browns and the Lions won. Yeah, they did. The Browns and the Lions took the dub. And Green Bay. We needed Green Bay to lose. I did. But I think the Lions play Green Bay next week in Green Bay. That's gonna be crucial. I don't know how that's going. That's gonna be a good, it's gonna be a good game. Especially, that's why I really hope it's like playoff implications on the line for both teams. Then that's gonna make it a really, really good game. Super MJ says, if wondering, you said your name is David. Someone on YouTube also, David, in the chat. And my name is also David. Yep, my name is David. Yep, my mother named me after King David in the Bible. Let's see. It says Seattle has to lose. The Rams and Lions have to beat the Packers on Sunday. Okay, so Seattle has to lose to the Rams, and the Lions have to beat the Packers on Sunday night to make it to the playoffs. Oh, man, that is, dang. See, dang, the Rams is not going to beat Seattle. We got a long shot. And we got a good chance to beat the Packers, but, I mean, Seattle, man, the Rams is garbage. I wonder what's Seattle's record. Said not guerrilla tactics. If I win tonight, Mendez still ain't getting the damn thing. We put you on the board. Not guerrilla. All right, gotcha. Bass says good. 8 out of 10. All right, that's pretty good. So Bazwat T, I'm gonna need you to do me one more. I'm Baz it live. I'm gonna have you do me one more thing. Give me your best, your one best thing about the game, and your one least about the game. Like one thing that bothered you about the game, and one thing that you kind of like, man, this is dope. All right, so I got through the chat pretty quick today. All right, let's but you know what, a couple things, we definitely want to talk about. I want to, as we go through the night, kind of explore. And I put this I need to find out the response to the chat, but I put a poll out there today, if everybody caught it. And I asked like, hey, with the rumored cancellation of a Switch Pro, could Nintendo come out with a Switch OLED Lite, and which I think would be highly successful. I think that would be really, really, because you think about it, if Nintendo is still trying to keep momentum and they're really not trying to give us this next generation Switch 2, hypothetically, whatever, in 2023, it would be a very good situation, and I think a very profitable situation, if they came out with an OLED Lite. I think a lot of people would jump on that. It would definitely give them an opportunity to, how can I say, diversify the Switch brand even more. And then, you know what, in 2024, you drop a new Switch. I think, I don't think I'm telling you, I think they can probably get through 2023, especially if these rumored games that all of a sudden just jumped out the scene on these last couple of days are true. All right. So we're going to assume that if the games they got out is true, or the rumored to be true, like the F-Zero and the Metroid Prime, and maybe, cause I don't think Wind Waker, I don't think those HD's models are coming this year. I think those will probably be a next year thing. But I think if they make it through that, and I think if cause I think they have to drop hardware this year, cause they've already established a cycle. It's been every 2 years, and this is that year. Candy says, hey, let me get on that board one more time. Candy Switch. That's what we're going to call you. Candy Twitch, my bad. I said Switch. All right, Candy's on the board right now. We currently got 15 people. You know what? Now 16, because your boy Gaming Dad has entered the ring. Let's see. Grid Tactic says, the whole idea of a Lite was a cheaper alternative to the Switch. How much cheaper would an OLED would be when an OLED be, and then why anyone will buy a Lite if the OLED Lite exists? Big question. I believe with an OLED Lite, you can do two things. Nintendo, they can do two things. They can drop the current Lite down by $20 and increase the OLED by $50. Right? So now you still have these tiers. You can get in for $180, or you could jump up to $250 and get you a Lite. I mean, an OLED Lite. Or if you really want to splurge, you want that connection to the TV, you pay an extra $50 and you get yourself a regular Switch. But you really want to be big bank, you pay $350 and get the OLED. That tier still, it really makes getting into their ecosystem that much easier, and allows more people to buy their system. I think that is tantalizing. I don't think the OLED Lite will sell. I mean, yes it will. What I'm thinking about. People will, because I tell you right now, if it's an OLED Lite, I would pick it up. And because the screen alone on the on the 7-inch is like beautiful. It's a beautiful screen. The screen on the OLED is better than the screen 10 times better than the screen on the Steam Deck. So I mean, I would be in for that, hands down. I would be in for that. All right, let's see what some other people said. Gertide says it seems like the latter move to release an OLED light. The games aren't going to perform any better. You're essentially just killing off any profits from the regular light. It, I don't think so, man. Because one thing about cheap people are going to buy cheap things. I'm a firm believer of that. And people who have already invested would reinvest for a better model. There's people out there who are just diehard light fans. If anything I've learned from just, producing content for the light, and I've put videos out on the light on my TikTok page that, it wasn't doing well, but they're like during the Christmas holiday, this took off because you got a lot of people who dig the light experience. And I think it's underestimated. So I don't think you kill off. A matter of fact, I'm telling you, I think you sell more Switch models, hands down. You're going to, if they can definitely have a prediction where, let's say hypothetically, right? Let's say if they released a Switch Lite this year, and let's say by the end of the year, let's say worldwide it sold 5 million, that's still a win. That's an absolute win for Nintendo if that light OLED sold 5 million. But I think it would sell more. I think it will be a lot more people that would, because the market you would get was people that are console or tech whores who just need that next experience. They're gonna get there. They're gonna 250 people jump on that. People who listen, I tell you, people who have in households who just have a Switch. If you take the Switch Lite and you put it down to 180 or even 175, 170, whatever it might be, you drop that, you'll get more people willing to buy a Switch Lite that own like a Steam Deck, that own, you'll get more people that will want to buy Nintendo products because it'll be at a cheaper rate. I think it's a win-win for Nintendo. This is a win-win. Let's see what else. Let's see. Candy says, hopefully the price goes up like $50 and they actually replace the regular light with the OLED light. You would think that would be that would be the eventual move, would be to replace. I just think, you know what, you give people more options. It gives people who are strictly handheld gamers, who I'm telling you that bought the OLED because of the screen. And you give them, because to me, I always look back at my experience, like going to different places, riding a bus or a train, and being able just to pull that out and be inconspicuous and still have a good time with it. I think it's a win. I think, you know what, I think anytime you have new hardware and you have if you could pair it with a great game, you're going to have success. So, this is a good question for the chat. Kind of spin off of this here. Do we believe that there is a Zelda OLED? After I've watched all the people's channel, do we believe that it's a Zelda OLED coming for the launch? If it is, I'll be disappointed because I wouldn't buy it, but by any stretch of imagination. And now if they did a Zelda OLED light, oh buddy, day one, picking it up, day one. That's what they need to do. We have enough OLEDs. We don't need another, because we got enough OLEDs. It's enough Switch systems. Give me a different experience, and you'll get my money. It will be a guaranteed seller. People will buy it just to have it, and I will be there day one. Like, you won. That's what he says. Okay, this is talking about Callisto Protocol. He says some parts are frustrating to beat. Good. The pacing is good. Didn't get bored at all. Okay. All right. See, to me, the good outweighs your bad, because I can deal with a game that's that's hard to beat, I could deal with that. But I like a game that has good pacing. I hate games that have terrible pacing because you get bored with it quick and you want like, ah man, I'm off to something else. Super MJ says, how many do you think will jump into the OLED versus those who will wait to see reviews first? Um, I think that people who have already have experienced the light, you got quite a few of them that sold their light back because of the OLED screen. And some people just like that small factor. You get them a better screen. It's in essence the same effect that people who had a Switch and upgraded their regular Switch to an OLED because of the better feature. It's people out there who didn't upgrade at all who still rocking their Switch Lite. Like I know people that still rocking a Switch Lite and is happy with that experience. Now you take that same experience and say, hey, I'm gonna give you an upgraded model. So now it's been 4 years. Think about it, 2019. It's been 4 years since the light dropped. People who are hardcore would upgrade. You would get if it's 120 million, and I think it's almost 5 million lights in Japan alone. So I would I don't know the number of lights worldwide. Let's say for instance, let's give it a rough number. Let's say out of all the Nintendo consoles, let's say it's 20 million lights, right? If it's 20 million lights, then I'm gonna say let's say 30% of those definitely would upgrade. All right. So if 30% of that 20 upgrade, yes, that's what, 6 million. So that's 6 million. That's still to me, that's still a win for Nintendo. That's 6 million more units of people that have the option to buy their games. Yeah. So you know what? I mean, I still think it's a win for Nintendo. They probably got all the parts. All they really switching out is a screen. You know what else? What else do they need? Are they really switching out with a screen? They might can do some upgrades to kind of make sure some other things kind of work right and maybe make the case a little different so it's a little bit comfortable in the hands. So that's a win, man. Listen, that is you can you change those two form factors. You give them an OLED screen and a different form factor, just slightly, that where it's more comfortable in the hands. Oh, buddy, you got a dub in your. That's a W. That's an absolute W. People would upgrade just because of that. Just because of the form factor and the screen. That's really all they need. It wouldn't cost. You know what? I think Nintendo will probably make more money as a company because of that move. Let's see. So Super MJ, to answer your question, I say about 30%. 30% of current people would upgrade. I think anybody out there that really want to switch has to switch now. I mean, I think at waiting on reviews, at I don't think that would really matter at this standpoint because it's an OLED screen, unless they do something that's like tremendously better or tremendously worse. Now, just say for instance, like if like you said, you get a couple of people that might stay out there and not jump on the bandwagon. They want to wait for reviews. If some of the reviews was like, "Hey, it runs the games worse," then it's dead in the water. But if they say, "Hey," they get any kind of improvement out of it, which I doubt it. But just say hypothetically, they say, "Hey, you know what? For some reason or another, it gives me better battery life." This because let's think about it. If they gave you the OLED screen and gave you a smidget better battery life than the old OLED, and maybe make the form factor a little bit more comfortable to hold, it would absolutely be an upgrade that people would get into. GT says, right. So you have the red box switch, the OLED light, and the regular light. Not confusing at all for the casuals. Yeah, but you know what? They still selling though. It'd be different if like they wouldn't. If let's say that comment to me would reign supreme if at this standpoint we was at like maybe like 70 or 80 million. I think people understand the brand well enough to understand the difference in the two. People understood that there's a clear OLED light, and the OLED means that it was different. And people that want to come and get this Switch Lite, that's a easier sell. Like, hey, this has a better screen, this has a better form factor, get better battery life. Yeah, listen, even if you're a newcomer and you say, well, I can get this one for $175, but I can get this one here for $250, but it got better battery life. If you don't got the money, then hey, you get that cheaper model. But if you got the money, you're gonna get that OLED model, hands down. It's a win-win. Because you know what, you got 3 SKUs. Nintendo said it's a family of systems. This would be a family of systems. So what do you think of the leak Zelda Edition OLED? Switch Force is trying to say it's a fake based on the box, but I told him it looks like the European box on the front. He only compared it to the US and Japan. Oh wow! And see, that's new. I did not know that the boxes were completely different in overseas. I never knew that. That's new information to me. Appreciate you, Steve. If that is true, I'm gonna go based upon, let's say the information you just gave me is true, and it looks more like the European box. Then I can see that definitely happening. They did it for Pokemon. You know what? They're in that era. We're in that era of the Switch where we're starting to get different variations. I wouldn't see why that wouldn't be a, why they wouldn't put that system out there. I think you know what they're gonna it's gonna sell because you got a lot of people who are just diehard Zelda fans. I would not be picking it up. I don't care how good it is. It's no need for. To me, it's not a need. It would just be like, okay, I have it. It would be a souvenir piece more or less than something that I actually need. So I would pick it up, but it would sell. It would definitely sell. I remember when the Zelda 3DS came out, and boy, oh boy, that bad boy sold like hotcakes, and people bought it just to have it, and then people will buy that particular Switch just to have it because they're the diehard fans. If cheap people are going to buy cheap things, then the cheapest way to go is to buy a used Switch where Nintendo sees no profit. Agreed. Absolutely. I can't see an OLED light coming out. Um, I do agree with your assessment. Yes, if people, you know what, I working for GameStop, I just want people. That's all people bought was used items. I mean, I still buy used stuff myself. But when it comes down to um, if people had the choice to buy new, if they got the money, a lot of people. Oh, I don't say a lot of people. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna drag nobody else into my thought process, but I typically will buy something that's going to give me the best experience possible. That's how I look at it. I look at that. What's gonna give me the best experience possible? What's going when I look at the car, I say, what's gonna give me the most comfort? When I drive a car, I think I want comfortability over everything else. I need to be comfortable. I need to have things I could be able to make my experience driving, at the best possible. And that's how I approach it. Like even like the systems. Like, hey, you know what? I could have bought a Series X at launch, the Series S rather. I was like, man, I want the X. I was like, yeah, I want the X. Let's see. An OLED light coming out. They can't see it. I mean, you never know. I think you know what if Nintendo stays true to their cycle, I think financially it's a good move, and I think it's a move that um would give. I think it's the move that would give them the latitude to be able to push any form of announcements to 2024 2025. It would give them at least the latitude. They just got to have the games to match with it. It just can't it can't just be that by itself. They got to have the games to match it. Let's see. Secret Tactics says, if anything, I see a push on exclusive games and special edition consoles this year for Nintendo. I think their next console will be more powerful than the current Switch models. Yeah, oh yeah, I agree. The next model is definitely really gonna probably push the envelope of mobile gaming. A lot of people sat back. One thing about Nintendo, man, if you ever notice that when Nintendo does something that's really really popular, that's really making them a lot of money, company would typically fan that direction. I remember when the Wii came out, all you sound you had the Connect, and then you had PlayStation Move. You got a system that is portable that can also be docked. Now we have the Steam Deck. And you know what? If the Steam Deck is really just, if it had better battery, man, it would probably really really cause Nintendo to be like, you know what, we got to do something quicker. But the rumblings of a new Steam Deck is going to me kind of dictate, kind of factor in how I say what Nintendo does next. If people sit back and say, "Well, Nintendo, toots their own horn and they do things their own way," I agreed, but they ain't stupid. They're not gonna sit back there and just say, "You know what? All right, well, I know my competitor, is over here, and I'm really not paying attention to them." Yeah, they paying attention to them. They pay. Listen, this is when it comes to money, it's about putting themselves in the best situation possible. So Steve M says, if the Switch Lite OLED is a thing, it could be thought of similar to the new 2DS XL versus the 2DS. How Steve M, how would they, to do that? They would have to have some form of improvement. And how would they do that? Would Nintendo pull that trigger? They say, hey, you know what? We got this model. It has a little bit better processing power. You know what? They can do that without labeling it a Pro. I hope they don't go back to that new tag though. I just think, listen, yeah, you get these. I do agree with Gorilla Tactics saying about, there'll be a bunch of versions of Switch models where they a lot of these themed models, and I think that's a good thing too, man. I think they will sell. I think I personally would prefer a newer experience. I think a reverse, a revamp of the Switch Lite and making it with an OLED screen and just doing some small improvements would be like a winner. Holly Peaky says Switch Pro 2023 or 2024. I think we talked about this last week, and so Nintendo can go one of two ways. They can go the way of PlayStation. You know what do PlayStation do? PlayStation typically will launch a new system even while their current system is still selling. And then kind of like slowly morph into that new unit being the standard and the old one slowly but surely being faded away. Because I think Nintendo kind of needs to do that too. I think why things is hot, they got to kind of like go ahead and get that bad boy out there while the Switch is still selling, if much is selling. It's gonna be interesting to see. I think at the end, it's either at the end of January. I gotta see when the next investor meeting is gonna be, but it's usually around that late January, February mark. I'm really curious to see how Nintendo sold over the holiday. Because, they give you the sales all the way until December. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how did they end their holiday? And that, to me, would speak volumes. If they had a bad holiday, I think we get it in 2023. If Nintendo had a bad holiday, let's say, for instance, they missed their projections for the holiday, let's say by 1 million. That's enough right there for Nintendo to say, you know what, we got to do something different. We gotta change the narrative, because at that standpoint, yeah, they might have sold some, but if they change the projections, then the value of the stock price drops, and that would be an issue. and Nintendo is going to conform to their shareholders. They always do. So that to me is going to speak more volumes if it's 23 or 24. If they had an outstanding Christmas and they was number one everywhere and they beat their projections, or even they met their projections, then 2024 is going to sound more like an option. Because really, and I think, and shout out to Gorilla Tactics, not Gorilla Tactics, but somebody from last week made this comment where they said that no, matter of fact, it was Gorilla Tactics. It was his comment on YouTube. He said that Nintendo has the game to survive 2023, and think about it, they could if they market their game. Their games have to be good though. They can't just be like, at 7 or maybe, they can't be nothing less than 8. These games got to be 8, 9, 10 above. It's like Zelda got to be a 10 out of 10. If Zelda comes out and it's like an 8, oh man, it's gonna people. You do. You look at the 8, you be like, I can wait. But if it's like a 9 or 10, like, oh man, I got to get this game. I got to play it. I'm more, and especially in these times, with inflation, you really cautious about what you spend your money on, what games is which. Like, I don't know, but I think we're gonna find out, like I said before, a lot of information, what direction we go in after their financial report, either the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I'll find out today eventually. Good question, Holly. Holly says, Halo Switch, please. You know what? This is something we've been asking for a long time. Remember, Holly, we just wanted like the Master Chief Collection. I think, wouldn't it just be absolutely phenomenally dope if they just said, you know what, we're gonna put Halo 1 on the Switch. They don't need to put just put Halo 1. Put Halo Combat Evolved, give it multiplayer, give it online support, and put that on the Switch. It would sell phenomenal. It would absolutely be bonkers. And to be honest, like, at that standpoint, we really wouldn't need a Call of Duty. We wouldn't need it. To me, that's if they could somehow lock that in, that is the move. They would make so much money. You put Halo 1 on there with online combat support, multiplayer support, man, that would be phenomenal. And we've been asking for this for a long time. I am all in favor of that. Nintendo, please. Well, Cameron, please, Nintendo. Work your magic with Microsoft. They trying to make some money. That would be crazy, though. Put it on the system. Candy says, a Zelda OLED Lite would be fire. I would pre-order in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. In an absolute heartbeat. And you know what? Yeah, I got a bunch of systems. I got a bunch of Switches. So my kids got Switches. My youngest son, he was the last one to get an OLED. He got an OLED for Christmas. And so I would be all about that. Oh man, that would be. And I'd be honest, like my current OLED would be like not getting no love because I love that form factor of the light. That it's small. Give me a couple games in. It's my favorite place to play Pac-Man 99. My favorite place. Yeah, so I would be all about that. That definitely would be dope. Speaking of, this is, after I go through this, speaking of, has anybody made any New Year's resolutions? I might have said that wrong, but touched in my head, not to my heart. I've made a couple. I've made a couple to start recording more video. I'm developed this schedule that I want to try to live up with. Every night I record some video, and because I could edit at school, so every night for 1 week, every night I have to record some kind of video. I got to do all the video work for it, and then the following week I'm gonna try to do all the editing, and then start releasing content in batches. I'm gonna try that and see how it works. So if I can get on that kind of plane where, I'm trying to get things and more content out. Because last year, man, I didn't put out a lot of content. I had my streams, true enough, but extra content like I was the first couple of years, this hasn't been out there. So I've made that commitment. So that's one of my New Year's resolutions. And then the second one is that is just committing to working out 5 days a week. It's hard to do, man. When I can do it at school. That's a great thing about the place where I work at is that I teach it at Rockmore High School, and so I teach my kids. My kids have gym, so I have to take them to the weight room anyway. So I typically double dip. Like if I'm taking them out there, I'm working them out. I work out as well, so I can meet that. I can meet that criteria. So I'm curious to hear anybody else's. And you know what, good people, you can do me a favor. Stop what you're doing. Hit that like button for your boy, man. If you're not a subscriber, man, become a subscriber, man. We live every Monday night for those of you who might be new to the channel. Hook your boy up. Hit that like button. All right. Let's see. Grid Tactics says, to do an OLED light, they have to switch out the battery as the OLED screen takes more power. Thus, as the price of the OG light components are cheaper now, Nintendo will be throwing that away. Not necessarily, because think about like Nintendo makes the bulk of their money off the software. So yeah, they're making money off every light. They're making money off every OLED. They're making money off every Switch. And so I believe that even if they did that, if I'm correct, I think the OLED screen is more efficient than the LCD screen that they had in the original Switch. But I could be lying. I could not have that wrong. But however, if that's the case, Nintendo, I believe they're not going to lose money off the system. If they got more people buying their hardware, if they can find ways to introduce more people into their ecosystem, they're going to do it. But a great point, though. I'm not discounting your point. Your point is very valid. Steven says, I think that Zelda OLED is real. The box looks real and the Joy-Cons too. But it could be a really good fake too, I suppose. You know what, man? The internet is undefeated. That's why until Nintendo said this is what's going to happen, then this is what's going to happen. The only thing about it is like so much of this news is coming out that I hope we get an announcement of a direct sooner than later. I hope Nintendo don't mess around. I hope they go ahead and start this year. I would love to see one this month to kind of set the tone for the rest of the year. But definitely, hopefully, by next month, we'll have a direct, and we can kind of sit back and, and dissect how the rest of the year is going to go. Because right now, man, currently, if we look at it today, it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot, but Nintendo got some things up the sleeve that have not been released, so it's going to be good to see when that drops. Let's see. SOC says, happy 2023. Excuse me, my bad. The year Nintendo announces their next system in October, and it's not a Switch. Got them. What a prediction. Do you think that Nintendo would go a complete different direction? Whatever they go, listen, to be honest, whatever that next Switch system or whatever that system may be from Nintendo, it better be backwards compatible. And whatever they plan on doing, it better be backwards compatible. Because if not, you know what? Hold on. Okay, I'm going to read Steve's comment in a minute. But Sir Isaac, what's going on, man? Happy New Year to you. So what's up? Been subscribed for quite a while. First time joining your live. Man, Sir Isaac, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Happy New Year to you, too. Let me get Sir Isaac, man. I give out a free Nintendo eShop card every Monday night Well, it's been kind of wacky right now because basketball been all over the place. But hold on, I'm trying to get you on the board. There we go. And right now, currently, we have 17 people on the board. Let me switch over here. There we go. 17 people. So I do a process of elimination, Sir Isaac. So at the end of the stream, and I do it every Monday night. So that means if you jump off, Isaac, just sometime throughout the week or the next couple of days or whatever, just chime back in and just look at the end of the stream. And when you see the wheel power like the screen is right here, then you know we're going through the wheel. And this to see if you won. If you won, then it's a process. All you do is follow your boy on Twitter at gaming_dad3 on Twitter, or on Instagram at gamingdad3. And last but not least, you also follow me on TikTok at gamingdad0. And then if you want up here, man, this hey, send me a message and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put you to some paces though, because I just need to know if you stay through the say for instance, you stay through the whole night, which is great, and you won. Just send me where you're gonna contact me from, and then I need to know your either your Twitter handle or your Instagram or your TikTok, so I know it's you once you chime in. Because if not, people be trying. They get in, they be like, yeah, I'm the winner. I was like, no, you're not. I got played one time. And I was like, man, and this dude was like a regular too. He was a regular, but he created an account to say he won, but he really didn't win. I was like, man, I was jacked. But it is what it is. That's why I try to make sure that people verify who they are. All right, enough of that. Let's see. Steve M says, I regret not getting the Highland Shield 2D SXL. It looks cool, but way too expensive now. My favorite 3DS XL is the gold and black one for the Link Between Worlds. Yeah, that was the one. You absolutely right, Steve. That was the one that kind of like really set things apart, man. You just like, you knew once you got that, it was like it was definitely quality. I love that. That was a beautiful system. Steven said, SOC, do you think that Nintendo's next system has a foldable screen like the Samsung phone? That's interesting, man. You know what the question would be, would you care if Nintendo went back to that clamshell style? I say I would not care at all. Think about it like this here. One thing that I loved about the two what is it called, the not the 3DS but the DS Lite. What I loved about the DS Lite is that with that clamshell, it was just so sleek. And so just imagine if Nintendo had a really durable clamshell, and you was able to carry that bad boy around and flip it up, and you had that dope screen on top. And you had like, I love that 3DS style. I didn't like the 3DS style where you kind of had to use both screens and they got to merge. It's like you had like, if you start off down here, I didn't like that. I like when everything was on the top screen and maybe my items and stuff was on the bottom screen, or my map was on the bottom screen. I love that kind of how intuitive that was in my gameplay. So I would be all in favor of that. And then just imagine if you close it and then you had a dock where you can kind of just set in a dock like a almost like a briefcase, or like this, almost like a laptop. That would be dope. I would be all about that. Like, just imagine your when they had the 3DS XL, and then they had the smaller one. But that smaller black one was so dope. That was a dope looking system. So imagine something that kind of that small, but maybe like a bigger screen on that bad boy. It would be crucial, and I would be all about that. That would be dope. I like that. I like the thought process on that. All right, let's get back. Let's see. I gotta fix that because they keep showing this other all my stuff in the background going on. Let's see. So they wouldn't for that reason. They don't repeat gimmicks. They tried it on the Wii U, and then look how that turned out. Yeah, you have a valid point, and it's a point, man. He said next meeting is February 7th. See that. Shout out to SOC. Um, yeah, that's you have a very, very, very valid point. But you know what? The only thing that I look at differently is that the marketing for the Wii U, which is absolutely terrible. That the name of the system was a terrible decision. Terrible. To go from the Wii to the Wii U, it was too similar. You know what? You had the NES and then you had the Super Nintendo. You had the NES and you had the Super NES. That's a clear distinct, a clear distinction between the two. There's like you know for sure, like, hey, this is that next system. That's why I love the Super Switch. Sounds so good. And it sounds a definitely upgrade from a Switch. You have the regular Nintendo Switch, and then you have the Nintendo Switch OLED, and now you have the Super Nintendo. Give me the Super Nintendo. I just remember, man, clear as day when there was when that transformation when I was like 16 years old when the Super Nintendo dropped. And I just remember going to pick that bad boy up from Babbage's, and you know what? People clearly like, hey, nope, I want the Super Nintendo. Because think about Super Nintendo here, especially here in America. You got Super Nintendo, you got Superman. It's just like it's too entwined into our thought process when it comes to things that are better. You want things that's super, ultra. You know what? Those key words are important. So you just when they came out with the Wii U, it was like, what? First of all, the Wii was we was like, man, when the Wii name came out, we was like, that's a terrible name. But we learned to like it because the concept was new and fresh. And so you said, now we got a Wii U. It's like, what? That was stupid. Everybody said they should have changed the name immediately. They should have got that. I don't think they got enough feedback to say, hey, is this a good name? No, it was not. So I think the marketing between the two was terrible. But I get it. It's like, hey, but I think this is a different climate. Different climate, different time. You know what? If you look at the difference between PS4 and PS5, it's all graphical. So if you have something in your marketing that's definitely a better system that's going to produce better games, you got a hit. Another reason why the Wii U failed, it did not have a killer app at launch. That's what they've learned. That was the one of the main lessons they learned coming over to the Switch is that they needed killer apps and a steady flow of them in the beginning, and they had it from the beginning. Killer apps, killer first party, killer second and not really third party, but killer like indie games. It held the Switch down, and so they got a very good, how can I say it, a very good plan for it to be successful. That's much more, how can I say it, intuitive than what the Wii U had. The Wii U just had poor marketing, no big game at launch. The next Super Switch is going to have, it's got to have the name. It's going to have a big title that's going to sell systems. Because a Metroid Prime 4 would sell systems. I think because, and I say this because if this rumor is true, and I believe it is, that Metro Prime remake is done and ready to go, and once that drop, and that sells well, and to me, for it to sell well, it's got to be north of 5 million. If it sells north of 5 million, which is pretty good, to get people riled up for another iteration of that. If you launch it next to a system and you bunch it with some pretty good games to go along with it, or at least in the coming weeks of that system's release, then you got something there, and that's all it needs. It's all Nintendo needs. It needs a good name, a reason to buy the system, and if you can do that, if you this say for instance they launch it with now I said Metro Prime 4 was probably a bad choice, but if they say for instance they launched it with an Odyssey 2, they launched it with a Mario game, right beside it, it's gonna sell. It's gonna absolutely. If they see that, listen, one of the early success of the Switch was it launched next to Zelda. Yeah, I remember that direct. Remember that direct when they announced that, hey, the Switch is coming out this day and is launching with Zelda on this day. They went crazy all over in every video. The New York video, they went crazy. So definitely, it's gonna be interesting to see. Uh, Once again, SOC, the next Switch and the next Nintendo financial meeting is February 7th, which is going to be it's going to really tell what happens the rest of this year. Grid Attack said they kind of do repeat gimmicks. SOC, the Wii U was, yeah, but then the Switch is essentially the Wii U tablet with control. Yeah, listen, you know what? You got a point. I didn't even think about. Listen, I didn't even think about that transformation. Yeah, they did kind of. They still kind of repeat, because you know what? Because I bet money you're gonna find out when it's all said and done that Nintendo Switch Sports is probably gonna sell somewhere north of 15 million. And you know what? We so used to Nintendo's games selling, at higher volumes. That's still pretty good to have a game to sell 15 million copies at $60 a pop, or even 40 or $50 a pop. Still, that's a lot of money. Let's see. SOC said you can have some of the same gimmicks, but the main gimmick needs to be different. So let's see. Is the main gimmick different? It wasn't quite different between the Wii and the Wii U. Like, they just kind of like added an extension. It's like, it was like that gamepad, which was very useful, was just an add-on extension. And so and the Switch was different. That gimmick was definitely different because it gave you the ability, what they really wanted the Wii U to be, is something that I can play on TV and I can take away. Yeah, it was really like, the Wii U was like 0.5 Switch, and the Switch was like 2.0. Chris says, I really hope they go back to the DS/main console model. Nope, that's not gonna happen. Sometimes I want a bite-sized game on top of whatever, without having to pull out something as big as a Switch. They probably will make a smaller Switch before they go back to a full, whatever it is. It's all everything. Once they merged everything into one house, like they took all their development studios and put them onto one unit. That's why. And the first time they did it, you had the Switch, and it was highly successful. And then it's just allowed them to be able to create games on a regular basis. I don't think they ever go back to this one unit. Now they might. I would love the clamshell, a clamshell Switch that typically didn't need to be as big as the Switch is now. Just imagine they took the OLED and you still had the, maybe, let's say 6.5 or 6-inch screen on top, and it was OLED, and then on the bottom they gave you like an LCD with the controls right there on the screen. I mean, and then I can dock that bad boy and get you a controller. You buy your pro controller to kind of go along with it, or I don't know. I don't know how that happens. So many things to think about, but I would definitely be all about it. I think everybody would be too. That's dope. If you edit at school, you are getting paid to edit. Absolutely. Touche, pussycat. Yes, of course. That's what I'm trying to do. You had double dip. I don't have that many students anymore. I used to have a lot of students. For a class that I teach, a lot of students was like 10 or more. If I got like 10 to 15 students, that's a lot. And I have less than 5. So, I have a lot more free time. So I'm not doing as much teaching as I was before. And some of my kids, they even go out to regular classes. So when they go out to regular classes, then I'm pretty much free. So and then it go from like it go from like 5 students to like by third period come I'm down to like 2, and then some periods I'm down to 1. It's like, okay, hey, that one kid got his stuff going on. He doing his work. I'm chilling by myself. So I'm gonna get my edit on. GT says my resolution are only to buy 3 games 3 times a year. Woo wee! The summer sale, fall sale, and winter sale. Is it? All the major companies told them, so I should be good. Won't buy new releases day one anymore. Yeah, you know what? I am finding out, unless I'm really, really going to play that game day one, that I don't need to get, because the games are so accessible. You know what? It's not like, they're going to sell out. There's only a couple of times this year where I feel like certain games I had to buy at the beginning because I feel like they were going to sell out. I feel like they're going to be so niche that I need to pick up this game before I don't have options to buy. If I feel like that, then that's the direction I go. But I totally agree with that, because I found out myself a lot of times this year. Like at first, I was gonna buy Uncharted day one on the Steam Deck, and I was like, you know what, I can wait, and I did. I'm glad I did. And I waited. It went on sale, and I was like, oh, that's my time. That's my cue, and I picked it up on sale, so I saved me some money. So unless that game is like it's like the game of games. Like it's like, to me, like Zelda is a day one purchase. That is hey, day one I'm going to pre-order Zelda. Spider-Man 2 this year. If that comes out and it's on time and come out for PlayStation, to me it's a day one purchase. Hands down. But there really is no other game this year that I'm like, oh man, I just gotta have that game day one. So them the only 2 games this year so far that I know for sure day one I'm gonna purchase. Everything else, they gotta. I know more after E3. SOC, man, if you still on board, man, can you do me a favor, man? Can you look to see if they're selling tickets yet for E3? I need to know. Let's see. SOC says OLED would always use less power due to it being able to turn off pixels on black. Yes, yeah, okay. So I thought I was right. I thought I was right. OLEDs have been consistently more power hungry than the average LED models. Google search. Oh, look at y'all going back and forth. Oh, that's so cute. That's what televisions do. So maybe it's different for portable devices screens, though I don't see how it would be different. For sure, I will follow you on IG. Fingers crossed. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. The only justifiable way to not cross support the Switch is they move to disc. Oh, I pray they don't go to no disc. If they continue to use cartridges, they should support Switch games. Yeah, you know what? Listen, somebody who was I watching today? I think it might have been Spawn Wave. And cause remember with the 3DS, you could still play DS games because it was still kind of the same form factor. They just made it like a little different. A 3DS game had that notch, so you couldn't play 3DS games on DS, but you can play DS on the Switch. I hope they do something like that. They do something similar to that, where they got some form of little mechanism on the cartridge where for sure like these games will only play on the new hardware and vice versa. CMG in the building. What's going on, CMG? CMG is currently on the scene. Got you on. We up to 16 people. Oh, no, excuse me, 18 people on the chat. On the wheels of steel. Oh, well, I'm not missing this one. Nintendo needs a new platform. You mean a complete new? What's going on, Neo Prime? You mean a complete new platform? I don't think Nintendo needs a complete new platform. I just think they need to continue to be consistent. And this generation, they've been pretty consistent with, bringing out systems every 2 years to kind of keep the momentum and keep people talking about Nintendo. I think they've done a great they've done great by doing that. I just want to know how that looks after, I mean, post pandemic. Are they able to keep that, and that's still that same kind of energy? What's going on, Neil Pryor, man? I thought about you, man, when Michigan lost, man. I said, man, I bet you Tim was over there pissed like I was. I was like, man, then we got hoes. It was like, oh, it was terrible, man. That was a terrible day. I like some days like that when I see, like, when I know, like, hey, man, Michigan should have probably won. Them the games that make you mad. I'm like, oh man, I'm not watching Sports Center, nothing. I don't want to hear it. Sir Isaac said Nintendo needs a GameCube Pro. God almighty. So, Sir Isaac, this is a good question for everybody there, man. Listen, would you prefer that Nintendo went back to a standalone console? I don't. I do not want them to go to standalone console. I would not be in favor of that. I like the fact that, it's that give and go. Like when I want to cook it on TV, just plug it in. The convenience, the I don't want no extra step to get my system to work. Oh, matter of fact, Neil Prime, let me put you on the board. So Tim, I got a question for you. So if Nintendo was to a couple questions for you, Tim. Will Nintendo survive this year? You think Nintendo got enough games up its sleeve that's gonna power and look efficient and play efficient on the current Switch model that will maybe push them off and be able to survive without having a Nintendo Switch 2 release this year? Or is there anything else that Nintendo can do to really push this year and to new heights? Because they get, to me, they gotta have some. You gotta have a steady flow of pretty good games to kind of continue to push sales of a system that is now, going on 7 years old. I mean, think about it. It will be going on 7 years old at the end of March. At the March 3rd. That's when that's when it enters going to 7 years. And I just think, you know what? I'm still like, hey, they can't mess around. That's why this first direct is going to tell us a lot. These sales numbers is going to tell us a lot. E3 would definitely solidify for sure if, Nintendo is, okay. I'm sorry. This thought just came to my head. So Steve, answer those questions if you can. Matter of fact, anybody can answer the question. But also, would it be dope if Nintendo, you get all of this here, Breath of Wild comes out, and then they have a big presentation, and they just announced Nintendo Switch 2, Christmas 2023, and they all about the hardware at E3. You cannot tell me that Nintendo will be the absolute talk of the town. And everybody that bought them Zelda OLEDs will be salty because the bad boys will be getting returned. I doubt that happened. It's always with wishful dreaming, but man, what if? That'd be the question. So get me there. Do you want a press pass? Absolutely. If so, register is open. Oh, buddy. When I get off the stream tonight, that is exactly what I'm doing. SOC, do you know if it's a price tag? I remember the price tag last year. And Steve, Tim, are you going to E3 this year? Something more powerful. Okay, I got you. I got you on that one. I think everybody wants something more powerful from Nintendo. Grilla Tactic says, not sure what I want the medium to be for the next Nintendo console. Cartridges are cool and all, but I am not a fan of that Nintendo tax continuing. Standalone and portable are best for me. there were so many unique games on the DS and 3DS which doesn't exist on Switch. You know what? Before I answer, before I read the rest of your comment, you are right, Guerrilla Tactics. You know what? And I was thinking about that because I was like Super Mario Land to me was like one of the best Mario games. It just, you know what? It gave. I just love the experience it gave me playing on that handheld. It just it's like that game is one of the reasons why you know what, I will always keep a DS. I if my DS was to ever break, I will find ways to fix it. If I ever was to lose it, I will find ways on eBay to repurchase it. I mean that system, super duper durable, and you know that experience, that 3D was something like no other. And I'm telling you, when the when history writes itself, and we look back 10, 20 years from now, those 3DSs are going to be very, very hard to find because that experience is an experience you cannot get on anything. There's nothing that I know of right now where you can play a game and get a 3D experience. Street Fighter in 3D was like phenomenal on the 3DS. They had you're right. They had so many great games. It's like, man, this is good. Like Kid Icarus, even though your hand would hurt terribly, and I wish they would bring that to the Switch. Was like an experience like you just you can't get that experience on nothing. Nothing. Not a nothing. That 3D experience in a handheld to me was like a game changer. Like Smash Brothers on the 3DS was like super good. Super good, man. How did they do it? I don't know, but it's super good. All right, I'm gonna stop. All right, good people. Listen, we're at the hour and 20-minute mark, so let's get off of this here. Let's get into some news. Let me get back to my Willy Wheel. Boop, all right, there we go. All right, good people. See me chime me off this comment there. Neo Prime, before I get to can Nintendo stay with the Switch in 2023? Yes, because of theme switches. But I also think there could be a Switch Lite OLED or possibly even a digital only OLED Switch to keep people talking into. Man, that listen, that is a great suggestion. None of us thought about, well, I ain't say none of us, but I did not even conceive of a digital. Matter of fact, would I want a digital OLED Switch? A digital OLED Switch only works for me if they can recognize that I have bought something physical and to give me a free download access to my new system because I already own it. It's in my library. How they do that? My man, good job. I appreciate you, SOC, man. I definitely appreciate you that. So yeah, that to me, that would be absolutely phenomenal if they can somehow figure out, listen, I've bought this game, I own this game, I've registered this game, and give me a free download to my digital console. Then, buddy, and a lot of that bad boy to be able to use 2 GB micro SD cards if they exist. That would be something. Oh man, that would be something. And you know what? That would be a great concept, especially if they can solidify the form factor. Remember that one back when they was like, you know, at the height of the Switch Pro, and they had this one particular model. It was like really really shiny, had really really nice joysticks. It was all one solid kind of glass unit. If they did something like that, I'll be all about that. Quake 311 in the building. Let me bounce off of this real quick and put Quake on the board. Boom. All right. Up to 20 people on the board. All right. Let's see. Almost. Said Neil Price says the next console in 24/25, and yes, at least one of us will be going to E3. God almighty. Yeah, that's my plan. My daughter will be old enough where I can probably I'll probably pay for her ticket to get in, because I think you got to be 18. And my other children, they're just gonna be SOL. But we're planning on heading that direction. For my daughter wants to go that direction for her senior trip, so we kind of plan it all around E3 and going out to Nintendo World and doing it up big. So that's gonna be crazy. He says a grid attack says digital only Switch sounds like a nightmare. The way Nintendo handles closing stores and definitely denying access to games randomly, whoo, then it takes months to correct the issue is once people know. It's the reason why I don't support a lot of like cloud gaming. I buy like if the issue is Nintendo needs an ecosystem that is similar to Valve's. If Nintendo had an ecosystem that was like Steam, it would be like, okay, then I wouldn't care, because you know what, I don't see Steam going away no time soon, and no matter if I got a PC or Steam Deck, you know what, I'm good. And Nintendo, that's a great point. Nintendo has issues, you know, like we know it in a minute. You're not gonna be able to buy games on the Wii U if that's not already locked down, and also for the DS. So you know you run into them kind of issues where whenever they get tired of it, they say, "All right, you're done." Yeah, you know, but it sounds good, but Nintendo doesn't have the structure in yet where I can have access. Now, if they say, for instance, well, every game you've bought, you would have access to it for life as long as you are a Nintendo, you know, whatever that Nintendo thing maker. I mean, that would be kind of okay, but I don't know, man. Great points, man. Great points. This is SoC. Also, the digital download for a copy would never work unless you trade it in for the code, because people will be selling or returning their games free. I know. To me, that's the only way you make that work. It's like, I don't know how they make that work, but it would have to be that way for me to jump on that system. Ooh, you hate that for anybody that collapses like that. Dang, that's CPR. Lord, please bless him. Heal his body, Lord. Let him come back strong. In Jesus' name, amen. Kenny said they're suspending the game for now. Yeah. Golly. Well, you know, you're going to be hearing about that on the news for sure. So I agree with Gorilla, but it would be Nintendo's way to test the digital only waters, because before releasing the next console. Whew. Man. Greta says, speaking of Nintendo, what's up with the online expansion pack? I hear nothing about it anymore. You listen, your guess is as good as mine. You know what? I believe we're gonna hear something come the Switch, you know, become not E3, but come this first direct. They're gonna have something. Cause you're right. I was looking really forward to hoping playing some GoldenEye, and that did not transpire. I was really, really hoping, wishing, and praying that we had some GoldenEye for Christmas. man, I was like, please come on, let it drop in December. When they had those no 5 days of Christmas indie directs, which I thought was super dope. Whoever whoever market that or put that was dope. That's how you do it. That's how because it kept you talking about Nintendo every day. It kept you tuned into Nintendo every day for five straight days. You had information to talk about, and I thought that was super dope, super dope. But I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's right. You are correct, Steve. Um, they just dropped Yoshi's Story, which is a pretty good game on the expansion pass recently, but nothing major. I'm to me, then it got me too hyped for GoldenEye. To serious talk, prayer for DeMar Hamlin, Buffalo Bills player who took us to a severe injury to a simple tackle, CPR, game suspended at Gaming Day 1906. Yeah, I hate that for any person. So it's any young person, he out there playing the game, he grew up playing all his life, and then something happens like that, man, it's really, it's an incredible way to start the year off. And just pray that everything is good for him. Happened about 40 minutes ago. Yeah, but I just pray everybody to take an opportunity, man, within themselves, man, to say a little prayer. You hate that for people, you hate that for his parents, being, a parent myself, I couldn't imagine, I never watched my son grow up and play this game, and just to kind of be hurt, you know, on something like so simple as a tackle. Whew. Well, I guess as we continue to move forward with the stream today, um, we'll keep this. Y'all, listen, you guys are watching it live. I'm not watching it live right now. If you wouldn't mind, just keeping us informed in the chat. You don't want to. I don't want to be insensitive. What's going on, Vic? Hey, Vic, I sent you and your wife a message via um TikTok to let you know that that controller should get there sometime this week. I think it's either Wednesday or Friday. I sent it by UPS, so you should get a UPS verification coming soon. If you have a UPS app, if you chime in, they should have it already listed. So you can better track that. If you need the tracking number, just let me know. So Gaming Dad back at it with a great stream. Be honest, how much dust has your Switch collection since you got the Steam Deck? Ooh, you know what? Not a lot though. I'm still like, it's certain games, like it's like certain games, man, I just can't get away from. It's certain games like, Pac-Man 99, Tetris 99. I mean, I play those games like, quite regularly. I just picked up Sifu. So I'm getting ready to start playing that, and I need to. It's a couple games I need to finish, before other games come out. So, no, it still gets some playtime, but you know what? I have played my Steam Deck a lot more than my Switch. I will admit that, because like I like playing. Like it's the PS Vita I've always wanted. It is my sports machine. So my 2K, my Madden. Even though I haven't bought the new Madden yet, because I get EA Play, so more than likely, I'm gonna get it for free. So I might well just wait around, and I'll pick it up when that EA Play. So I'm still playing last year's Madden. So, but it's still a great game to play. So, great question though. Super MJ says sorry for the mood change, but here's some news from about 25 minutes ago. Oh yeah, I can't. I won't be able to broadcast it here because they'll definitely. If you guys want to watch it, by all means, but I can't broadcast it. They could ding me for it. Well, as you guys drop that news in, we'll cover it as be, but we'll just keep moving on. Verified Reddit leaker teases a Metroid Prime announcement. To be honest, I hope this happens. To me, like Nintendo could have and probably should have released this last year. I don't know the reason why they did not release it, but they should have just released this last year. This should have been a Christmas game because really Nintendo doesn't have it. They didn't have a Christmas game this year. You can't count Pokemon as that Christmas game. It's like they had Bayonetta, and Bayonetta is not the game to carry your Christmas. But they did that last year too, though. Because Metroid wasn't that game that should have carried Christmas last year, but they still dropped it. I just really hope a lot of these GameCube games are games that's legit and it's coming this year. I'm gonna be all in favor of that. This give me some, fill in some holes for the rest of this year. Give us an idea, Pikmin 4, and it's maybe they don't got to give a release date. Just give me a release window. Yeah, I would love, and it will be super dope. They end, and anyway, this is a good question. It would be dope, but do you guys think E3 this year or this first direct, either one? Matter of fact, now let's stick with the first direct. This first direct, do we get a Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 4 trailer? Just a trailer. Do you think we get one? Or is that something they hold off on for E3? I would love it for this first direct, but I think that is an E3. That's an E3 bomb. Either that, or a new system. I would love for them to announce a new system at E3. Oh man, that would be like crazy. Crazy. Let's see. All right. It says one of the moderators from Reddit's Gaming Leaks and Rumor Sub occasionally receives direct messages from one of the sub's users who creatively leaks videos, gaming news just before it's officially announced. The person had previously created leaked to the monitor the official name of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD on the Switch, Splatoon 3, WarioWare, before they were officially announced in a Nintendo Direct. The Reddit moderator says that the user has an undefeated record when it comes to leaks, and that the users DM'd the Reddit moderator today saying, "Do you think anyone is primed and ready?" Possibly hinting at a Metroid Prime news. Most likely the Metroid Prime remake, which VentureBeat and GamesBeat journalist Jeff Grubb insisted earlier this year is real. I don't think it's nobody that follows Nintendo that believes that this is not real. I just want them to go ahead and announce it so we can go ahead and get our mind wrapped around it and we can move on to other things and get ourselves kind of situated. I do believe this is real. I just want to know about it sooner than later. Greta Titan said, think this year we're getting a trailer and gameplay. Don't know what event, but I think we'll see both this year. I hope so, man. I think if the plan is, let's say for instance, if the plan is for a new Switch in 2024, then I think we do get a trailer and gameplay this year. If not, I think we get a trailer, and then that's it. I'm leaning more to we just getting a trailer. I don't think we get gameplay yet. I think we're gonna get a little, if gameplay, it'll be really small smidgets. This is how they did the Legend of Zelda. It was just like really small smidgets, little game, little cutscene there. Nothing too, like this kept you enough of it into it where you kind of was like, ooh, what's the next? What's the next? Become a fiend for it. Neil Prime says this year we're getting the Prime trailer after Zelda's releases. So could be E3. Personally, I think it should be shown at the Game Awards. So this is a good question. Why do you think Nintendo? I mean, yeah, they show up here and there. They give it a little trinket here. The last 2 or 3 years, they just haven't not really have a prominent how can I say it? They just haven't been like full steam when it comes to the Game Awards. And I wonder why is that. I would love to know, like, when it's all said and done, when somebody finds out the information, the truth comes out, like, did something happen when Nintendo was like, all right, we out of there. Yeah, but I hope Nintendo takes control of that. I hope that's a E3 or a I really hope it's an E3 thing. And this is a good question. With E3 coming back, does Nintendo come with an E3 presentation? Because they kind of skipped it this year. Do you think Nintendo comes back and say, "All right, we here"? And and that's a good question. Have they officially said, "You know what, we're back"? To me, I think they should. They should definitely say it. CMG says Metro Prime 4 haven't been heard in a while. Yeah, I think the last thing I think was like they had a new hire not too long ago, like maybe like in November that got announced. But no, man, listen. To be honest, this give me a trailer when it's ready. Give me a trailer, and then 6 months later, give me the release date, and then just have a nice steady build up to the next one. And is there anything Nintendo can do to really switch the game up on Metro Prime 4? Because you know what, like, do you think Metro Prime becomes this open world, like Zelda did? Because what Zelda did for that genre, it took it to a whole different level. It just, I haven't played nothing like it. I mean, that's a great game. Probably, it's one of my top 3 games of all time for sure. But the good question is, Bandai Namco continues to recruiting for Nintendo's contract project. What is it? I want to know. Sooner than later. Let's read the full story, which is very small. It says the team at Bandai Namco has announced on their recruitment site that they are looking for more individuals to help work on the company's Nintendo contract projects. News first came of Bandai Namco's joint project with Nintendo back in April of 2022, during which 3 job listings were advertised on Bandai Namco's website for a project contracted by Nintendo, and the listing have once again become available. Whatever the project turns out to be, it will be a no, it will be it should be a 3D action game, presumably based on a key Nintendo series. Nintendo and Bandai Namco have yet to officially reveal the intriguing project. What could this project be? What could it be? Grid Attack has a question for the chat. It says, question for the chat. How many games did you guys complete last year? One. I think it was one game. That's it. That's it. And it took me like all year to beat it too. Like I started it I think I might have started it in 2021, and I finally beat it. It was The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah. Yeah, I did start it in 2000. Yeah, so I started that bad boy in 2021. I finally finished it. So that was it. I'm still like halfway on the first God of War, not the first God of War, but God of War 2018. And I bought Ragnarok, but I refuse to open it until I'm finished with 2018. I would play some of that tonight, but I got school tomorrow, and I gotta make sure that I record some video before I go to bed. So it might not happen. So I'll be playing some seafood tonight, though. All right. Feel free to answer Grid Tactics question. Rumor: Persona 3 remake is apparently in development at Atlas. Ooh. I know some people out here would be very, very excited to see a remake. I just don't know how much of a remake could you really do. I mean, if they gave it like Persona 5's graphics, it would be interesting. It would be really, really, really interesting. And I think it would really sell well too. Persona is like I said before, one of those games that even though I never played one, and I played Strikers. Strikers, that was pretty good. All right, keep it going. Switch Pro was real but got canceled, claims Digital Foundry. This is a very good question. Is the Switch Pro really dead? Gorilla Tactics says I beat 14 games last year. My goal is 20 games this year. God almighty, man. Listen, I need your time. My son has like the best. He has like such a good job. My son works a third shift job where you know what he does the auditing for one of these for one of the Marriott hotels, and so the amount of work he has to do takes him maybe 2 hours, but then the rest of the hours he don't got to do nothing. So all he does is play games. Oh, and I said, man, I need that in my life. Because I said, ooh, and the year I say I'm not buying games day one, damn you, Atlas. Dave says, I think I beat like 2 or 3 total. I played a slate of Spire most of the year, and I'm still playing it, even though I've done most achievements. I beat Pokemon Violet. I'm not sure if I'll beat anything else. CMG says, not Millie. I don't be having the time because of work, but hopefully I complete more this year. Yep. So I am thinking about buying a monitor for my classroom, something I can put on my desk, and whenever I get bored or I don't have kids in my classroom, I can just say, poof, I'll start playing. I'm really really thinking about. My son bought a monitor this year, and it's super dope. I was like, golly, man, I want one bad too. But I gotta wait. It's one of the things I gotta say, all right, I can't just get it right now. I have to kind of save up for it. I'm thinking about it though, because his is pretty sweet. All right, so what if this rumor is what if Digital Foundry is wrong? What if they are wrong and a pro drops this year? Would you upgrade? Who? Would you upgrade if Digital Foundry is wrong? Dave says I'm going to try to beat more games this year. I currently playing Pokemon Arceus while I watch the stream. I also playing Elden Ring. Dave, I got a question for you. Very good question. Is Arceus better than Violet? Ooh. Let me know what you think. He said, I'm also playing Elden Ring. I have not played Elden Ring. I gotta wait. All right, so I would love the fact if they were wrong, and Nintendo was like, "Here, Pro, bam." So I still need to buy Pokemon Violet. Does it still run like cheeks? Yep, they still clapping. I've heard that. I've heard the first little update was it did some improvement, but not very much. Yeah. So you know what? I don't know about this one here. I still think like a Pro this year. This seems like if the plan is to drag this bad boy out, man, a Pro will be good. But I think a Light will be even better though. Cause the Light, cause you know what? If they drop a Light, you can really justify them dropping a um a new system in 2024. End of 2024, early 2025. You can justify it then. Hey, if 23, 24. That puts 7, 8. That's like 9 years, man. Think about it. You gonna be still rocking the Switch in 9 years? I just don't know, man. I just I just not see them. I see them 2024 at the latest. Seems I should be able to finish Callisto Protocol pretty soon. Good game, but hard. So this guy thinks Arceus was better than Scarlet and Violet. I don't know. I didn't play either one of those bad boys. I own them both, but I just haven't time to. I don't know. I never was a Pokemon guy, but I just want you guys. You guys are probably more hardcore Pokemon players than I am for sure. Would love to know your ideas of what you thought about it. All right. Let's get off the story here. It seems Sega is planning another Olympic-themed game, possibly with Sonic. And those Olympic games were, it was pretty decent, especially on the Switch. The last Olympic was it Tokyo? It was pretty good. Definitely, I had fun playing with against kids in my classroom for sure. But I think anything that Nintendo can do to kind of keep Sonic's name, not Nintendo, but anything Sega can do to keep Sonic's name in the forefront and people talking about it, I think they need to. I think a lot of companies need to really pay attention to what Nintendo did and try their best to mimic what they did by making sure they have games ready to go. Dave says, only about 15 hours in to Arceus. I like the battling and catching the mechanics more in this game, but there seems to be more variety of Pokemon in Violet. I really enjoy it even with its issues. Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good to know. All right, boom. Come out of this. We got Sega coming on. Go to the next story. I thought this was. He says Kojima says Metal Gear Solid 2 seemed impossible to release after 9/11. Nearly quit. Well, you know what? Listen, 9/11. Hey, Joshua, my son just dropped in. Let me put him on the board. That's 34. All right, we have 21 people. So Kojima says, I'm glad that they still released it. He said, let's go cut down. This is what he said. He said 9/11 took place in 2001, right before the release of Metal Gear Solid 2. We just sent out the masters, but the game featured both the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. It seemed impossible to release the game. I was called to the board of directors, and they all turned pale when I explained the situation. Nobody would tell me what to do, with the exception of Mr. Kuwasaki, who tackled the issue. As I thought about it, what to do, I went to speak with Mr. Kuwasaki about possibly quitting the company. That's when he told me, when this game comes out and society has their say about it, they'll be talking about you. Its creator and me, the person who sold it. I doubt they'll say anything about it. Anyone, blah, 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 blah. I doubt they would say anything about anyone else. What will you do? I am ready for whatever happens. I'm glad that, history goes back. I'm glad that they released Metal Gear Solid 2 because it's really one of my favorite Metal Gear Solid games. I mean, I hate that the series itself is in such a dormant place. And I hope that we get some new games on the horizon, because there's a whole generation of kids, man, who just like, when I say Metal Gear Solid, they like, what are you talking about? And that series is like, I can't even share that thought process with my own children. Um, so I kind of wish, I kind of hope they remake all of them. To be honest, I want them to remake one, especially because the graphics on one was, absolutely terrible, but the gameplay was good, and it was like, what, I love that, um I love that top down style of play. So shout out to Kojima. I'm glad they stood their ground and kept it going. Let's see. All right, Limited Run Games is hosting blowout sale for games for PS4, PS5, and more. Said the sale begins 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Let's see, what date does it start? January 2nd. So it takes place today. Today at 12 p.m. Eastern. So the sale is currently going. So you got Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is a great game. It's the game KO edition. I do have a physical copy of this game. Definitely work. Castlevania Anniversary Collection Ultimate Edition, Nintendo Switch, PS4, River City Girls Collector's Edition, Outlast 1 and 2. I did not know that had a physical. Oh, okay. Outlast. That's good to know. All right. What's some other stuff? The House of whatever. Fata Morgana. So game is looking. Can also roll the dice on blind boxes. No, I'm not doing. I don't do blind boxes because to me, I always get burned. It's always me or something. All right, so the sale for limited run games has started today at 12 p.m. So it's currently going now, and they have some games that you're trying to get physical copies of. You definitely should check them out. IGN's picked their top 10 video game remakes. So let's look at that top 10 real quick. Let's see. CMG says, love Metal Gear Solid series. Yeah, it's one of my favorites, man. Dave says, I like that Arceus is more challenging. Violet was pretty easy. There were a few challenging battles at the end, but I only lost one battle. You the man. CMG said, especially the Twin Snakes on the GameCube. Yeah, Twin Snakes are super good. CMG says, I hope Splinter Cell comes back as well. That last one I played was Blacklisted Aftermath. Okay. Yeah, Splinter Cell, once again, just the same kind of the same premise of Metal Gear, but I think Metal Gear was still a better game. That Metal Gear story was crazy. Neo Prime says 2023. I want a Conduit remaster for the Switch. Is there any word if anybody making this game? That would be dope. What remake would I really want in 2000? I still say, like, to me, a Madden um is a game that should be on the Switch. Should have been day one. I think it was stupid for them not to have it. But a game that I would want to be remade. Any of the Tomb Raider games. I would even take Shadow of Mordor on the Switch. I would. Even though I own it on multiple systems, I would probably buy it again because it was such a good game. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's that's about it. I would like to see the Metal Gear collection ported over to the Switch. That to me it would be another dope game we should have. Oh, my wife. I love my wife. She said I'm gonna try, but I know her eyeballs. This is usually her bedtime. She said I'm gonna try to stay up and wait. Let's see. All right, let's look at their top 10 real quick. Metroid Zero Missions is got to be on this list. All right, so let's look at it. Resident Evil 2 remake is at number. Let me stretch this out. At number 1. Yeah, I have to say that was a pretty good remake. You look at that and compare to the first one that was on the PlayStation. It's leaps and bounds. Final Fantasy VII remake, another game. You look at the first one on and I hate they broke them into these parts, but you look at the first one on the original PlayStation, and you know, it's pretty bad. Demon Souls PS5 is a beautiful game. Resident Evil 1 remake. Golly, you know what? That was like Resident Evil 1. What did they remake that on the game? I think we made first on the GameCube. And you're right. That was when they remade that was pretty good too. Metro Zero Missions is definitely way better than the first one. The first one, boy, it was more like a tank. But the rest of them, I was like, Pokemon Heart, Gold, and Silver. I don't know about that one because you Pokemon guys might know about that one. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, which is pretty good and pretty good on the Switch as well. Shadow Colossus remake, I guess it was okay. I guess if you can probably, to me, I would add to this list is The Last of Us, the newer one for the PlayStation. It looks gorgeous. That's another good looking game. Yep. Oh, you know what? You know what the game I'm really excited for this year? I kind of forgot all you hear is Zelda, but man, Resident Evil 4. I think that's another game that's to me is a day one purchase because I just love the franchise. Love Resident Evil 4. It's a great game, man. All right, let's see. Once again, if you're a fan of Fall Guys, they are getting ready to do is it Enchanto costume? I tear names up, boy. They be like, man, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. It's charged the game. But if you like Fall Guys, there it is. You'll have a new update sooner than later. Let me see if they got a date for this here. It says Enchanto are now available via Five Guys in-game store until tomorrow. So if you want to get these costumes and play in game, you got until tomorrow. That's it. All right, good people. Listen, let's get into. I don't think I got anything else. Let's see if they show the pictures of this box here for Tears of the Kingdom. Oh well. Now listen to me. Okay, that looks real. That looks like the box. I mean, for somebody to go out and fake these controllers in the manner in which they are, and they're gold controllers with the green thing from Link. That I mean that's I mean, you got a lot of time in your hands if you got to go through all of that. I think this is real, man. I didn't see this. This is my first time seeing this picture here of that Zelda OLED for the launch. Oh, come on, go back. Let's see. Yeah, man, I think this is real. I mean, that's a dope dock. I mean, I can see how people will probably pick this up and be wanting this on day one. At first I was like, this could be fake, but you know what? Mm. I think this is real. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, okay. So he tried to say that it was when I watched this video. This is Switch Force, and he was saying that this was fake, and he was he's pointing to the outline, the red lines, things of that nature, and how it was dark. But as you can see, if there's a shadow or something that's covering the box as you take a picture. If you take anything from a top down position, you could tell that this little corner here has to be the phone. So yeah, this is real. I'm saying, hey, this is real for sure. Yeah, to me, it was sold it as this right here. This is what sold it. I was like, man, that's a great controller, man. I mean, that's a great looking system. I mean, that's a really pretty. You know what? To me, it's like, man, that dock. I mean, that's pretty good looking. But it ain't worth going to buy a new Switch for. I tell you that much. I don't care just to have. Nope, I don't. I bought one theme system and I ain't buying no more. Let's see. Um, best handheld franchises missing from the Nintendo Switch. Let's see what he listed. He said Wario Land. A traditional Wario Land to me would be good, no matter which direction you look at it. I would definitely would be in favor of that. Golden Sun. I never was a big fan of Golden Sun, but I know a lot of people that were. I can see how that made the list. Nintendogs and Cats. I don't miss that. I think people that had I mean, I think that game was it was good for those who had a 3DS. This game was really good on the 3DS. But I had the Nintendogs and I kind of liked it, but it didn't keep me because it was just really too simple. Final Fantasy Tactics, I guess. Dr. Mario, uh, Mario 3 on 3 hoops, and I believe this game was on the 3DS, and it was pretty decent. But once again, I don't know how they would make it better on the Switch. F-Zero, I think it's a great game to kind of get people back into that theme of something to kind of help balance out Mario Kart's domination. Let's get to some comments real quick. Neil Prime says, no, the Conduit was pretty good. It's Candy says, it's decent looking, but I like my Pokemon OLED dock better. I would like those Joy-Cons though. Yeah, those Joy-Cons is nice. This system is gonna catch a pretty penny online. People gonna be really trying to scrap that bad boy. Neil Price says my predictions for this year is for a new Nintendo's game. Get out of here. Nintendo's would, what? It served its purpose, but I just don't see how that would, really translate. Maybe some younger gamers, they might pick this up and be like, oh, get them. Nintendo's might be good, but yeah, F-Zero, I would like to see come this year. Kid Icarus definitely should be on the Switch. Mario versus Donkey Kong, even though the games were pretty solid, great puzzle games, to have it on the Switch, I mean, I ain't missing nothing. I don't know what that game is. Oh, yeah, the last one. So, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in favor of having Kid Icarus and F-Zero. I think those games should definitely be on the Switch, but who are we? Grid Detective says, Nintendogs and Cats, pretty sure my Nintendog is dead. If not, I sure he's plotting with my Animal Crossing village for revenge on me. All right, let's see. There's some other news, but nothing like too big. Even though of course, everybody should have heard about that. Nate the Hate claims the F-Zero time will come in 2023. I think so, and the reason why I think so, only because this is the last year, of Mario Kart's tracks that they end, this year. So they're going to need something to kind of like, rekindle that racing spirit. And if they do everything right, if they got this game and runs at 60 frames per second and they do online and all that stuff, I think for sure you'll have yourself a pretty good winner. Let's see. All right. So good people, listen, it's about that time. It's like about 10:10. So let's go ahead and migrate over to our board. We got 21 people on the wheel. And you know how we do in great fashion. Get my sound effects keyed up. You know what? Let's see. Go ahead and get my harp music playing. Woosa. As we get ready to get into it, if your name is picked first, you know you hear the sweet tones of Peter Griff. Always transfer over to That Price Is Right and get out of here. Without any further ado, we will kick it, get it in and get it out real quick, fast, and hurry. And let's see who is the first one off the board tonight to get this nice horn to go along with Chi-Town CT in the building. And he's out of here. Mendez, bruh. Mendez didn't win all year, so I guess his 2023 resolution is to not even try. Shout out to Mendez, man. Always on deck gaming. Just keep it growing. Who's up next to catch the flex and become the second loser of the night? And that will be not Guerrilla Tactics.
You lose.
He is out of here. But that's his Twitch account, ladies and gentlemen. You can always chime in here twice as nice before the wheel starts and get on by chiming in for Twitch. We're simultaneously broadcasting both here and on Twitch. Our Twitch account is Gaming Dad 1906. We'll keep it going. We're going down to 19 people. Who's up next to catch the flex? And one of my favorite chimes to always get to play. Hey, Dave. I'm sorry, but you're out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Our next one, ladies and gentlemen, will be our winner. Our first winner of the night. And give it up for, Steve M., our first winner tonight. But you know how I do it. It's like,
Psych! Next time. Slugheads.
You out of here. Steve, Happy New Year. All right, we'll keep it flowing. Who's up next to catch the flex? And it will be my son, Joshua. Bye, Josh.
Better luck next time. Slugheads.
All right, we'll keep it flowing and going. Who's up next? And it's flowing down. And it's my girl, AST.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get
Nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Good day, sir. Good day, ma'am. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 15 people. And your boy, Gaming Dad, is alive. Let's keep it going. All right. If I make it to the top 4, I will announce who I will give the $10 to. And we'll keep it. But up next, my brother from another mother, SOC,
It's all there,
is
black and
out of
white,
here.
clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day. All right. We're down to 14 people. Let's keep the party rolling. And the next one to get blown off the board is, it's my girl, Holly Pinky. I know she was in for a minute, but she probably jumped out. But Holly is off the board, ladies and gentlemen. She's out of here. Oh, man. Let's see. Grid Attack says, get him out of here. He says, better AST than me. I'm pretty in 2023. CT said, did you ever play a game for the DS called Big Bang Mini? I love that game. I did not play Big Bang Mini. That game sounds suspect, though. Big Bang Mini. All right, good people, let's keep the party going and rolling. Who is up next to catch the flex and get this horn tonight? And will be my brother from Las Vegas, Quake 311. We'll get Quake the full round. Peace out, my brother. We're down to 12 people, ladies and gentlemen. Down to 12 people. Who's up next to catch all of that flex and become a loser? It would be Candy from Ohio.
You lose.
Is out of here, but Candy is still on the board with her Twitch account. She has made it to the final 11. Let's see who's up next to catch the flex. What did the sheep say? What did the sheep say? Milo, our winner from last week, who has not contacted me about his winnings. But he's out of here. That means it would definitely be, without a shadow of a doubt, a new winner this week. That's funny, man. All right. We're down to our last 10 people, ladies and gentlemen. Last 10. Who's up next? And it will be my brother, CMG. Please give him his exit call. Bills game postponed Monday night. All right. Okay, so I got an alert from ESPN. It says the Bills Bengals game officially postponed Monday night. NFL says Damar Hamlin is in critical condition. So keep your prayers for this brother. Man. Hate that for that guy. Neil Prime says he loved Big Bang Mini. What is Big Bang Mini? Do I need to look that up? Nah, see, last time I looked up again, they tried to copyright strike me. Like, you busters. CMG, yeah, I'm sorry, brother. You out of there. Well, all right, down to 9 people. Let's get the wheel spinning. See who's going to get on these winnings. And our next, dang, Candy. But you out of here, Candy. You out of here. Peace out. We're down to our last 8 people, ladies and gentlemen. And who would make it 7? It's getting close. It's getting close. Who's going to be? It's going to be Basil YT.
You are out of here.
My son rushed into the room today and said, Daddy, I found out where you get that your sample from. And he showed me the episode when he was in the bar like, you are out of here. All right, number 7. 7 people left. Who we got? Who's up next? And it looks like it's going to be GT Gorilla Tactics. And get out of here. All right, we're down to 6. Supersonic MJ is on the board twice. Did I jinx him? I did not. But my guy, 90s Misfit, is out of here. Oh, man. Let's see. Candy says, hey, I'm a Browns fan. You know what we say. There's always next week. I know, because I'm a Lions fan. We say the same thing. Justice for GT. Oh, man. Not the justice. Man, but nice. Why you didn't say nothing early, man? I got you on the wheel still. We're down to 5 people, ladies and gentlemen. Who's up next before we have our final 4 to get up out of here tonight? And it will be Sonic Knuckles Tails.
You lose.
You are ladies and gentlemen, we got the final 4 going on right here tonight. Let's see. If I win, I'm giving it to CT. If I win tonight, you know what? No. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to CT. CT hasn't won in a long time. So if I win tonight, CT, you gets my winnings. So you can go ahead and replace Gaming Dad with CT. Let's see how that wheel goes. Who's up next to catch the flex? And it will be, dang, CT, Gaming Dad.
You
is out of here. Hey, my brother, no problem. He says, watching Bills and Vegas Golden Knights. Sorry I missed it. No problem, my brother. I understand. Things happen in life. We're down to final three, though. We're down to the three. Neo Prime, Sir Isaac, and Super Sonic MJ. Who will be the winner? Uh-oh. God almighty. Nintendo Dash, Neo Prime, Tim the Man is out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, you want yourself a great podcast to watch. These guys really do it up big over the Nintendo Dads. Go check them out every Thursday night. I believe it's 10 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. If I'm wrong, Tim, man, please, let me know. I can re-say it in the chat. But I believe it's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go check these brothers out, man. They have great content, man. And I definitely, man, they had... What was y'all eating, Tim, out there when y'all was hanging out in New York? There was, was it fried Cheetos or something? Y'all was eating something, man. It looked quite delish. But like I said before, good people, go check them out. Nintendo Dads, man. They do a ton of content. I knew they do like Dads After Dark. I know it's another program they do, and I've chimed in on all of them before. And really, really good conversations, man. Just like ours. Good people. If you want yourself another Nintendo podcast to jump in on, they got a great concept, great setup, and I think you should definitely go out and support them. All right. With Neo Prime off the board, it can only be one. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Sonic MJ is back in the circle, also with Sir Isaac, but you know how I do it. It can only be one. Tonight, we got guest starring The Roots on the drum roll. Questlove, please hit them drums for me. And tonight's winner will be, man, Sir Isaac is our winner. Super MJ has took another L at the finish line. Kids, give it up for our winner tonight, Sir Isaac. Man, Super MJ, man, listen, man, that's a hard defeat to start the year off with. But man, you keep getting closer and closer. Your win, your W is coming. Everybody get Sir Isaac some love in the chat. He said, Tim, no. It's almost you want to say, Snake. Give it up for Sir Isaac is our winner tonight. Sir Isaac was an original OG. Back when I first started my channel, and I was just putting out those Switch Lite videos. But now he is the proud winner of a $10 eShop card. Sir Isaac, don't forget, man. I hope you see this message, man. Don't forget to kind of message your boy. Either on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. TikTok is Gaming Dad 0. Twitter is Gaming_Dad3. And Instagram is Gaming Dad 3 altogether. And send me a message, say, Gaming Dad with my money, and I'll hook you up. Don't forget, if you get this message, even after the show, send me a message on YouTube in the comments of this video. Just let me know your handle. And so I can make sure it's you who's collecting your prize. All right, good people. Another great stream, another great night. This is your boy, Gaming Dad, man. Listen, hey, say your prayers for this young man that's in critical condition. I know the power of prayer, and prayer heals, and God is real. I will not operate my show without recognizing who has allowed me the opportunity to bless this mic with my voice, and that is God and God alone. So tonight, before I leave out, I will pray for this young man and pray that God's healing be upon him and his family has the strength to be able to endure whatever God has in this situation. We just pray God shows mercy upon him and his family, and I pray that he's able to make through this safely, that he's able to regain everything that the enemy is trying to take from him. I pray in the name of Jesus that he, even through this situation, that he develops a more loving and more connected relationship with our Father. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you for the people in the chat. May you bless them, Lord. Let them have a great week. Let them be safe and return back so we can continue to do this again. And we thank you and we honor you, Lord. In 2023, everyone that can hear my voice, I pray that you touch their finances, that you bless them tenfold, Lord. I pray that you touch their loved ones and let everyone come through and just have a great year. We thank you and we honor you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good people, this is your boy, Gaming Dad. I love ending with prayer, and I don't mind ending with prayer because this is what I do. If you don't like it, you don't got to watch. You can turn it off, but I'm still going to say what I got to say. All right. CMG says, peace, Gaming Dad, in the chat. Have a good night. Right back at you, my brother. Quay311 said, Nintendo Dad's pedigree. Tim, Metroid Racing, Jesse, RPG, Pick and Cross. You know what? I need to pay Pick Cross. Mega Man, Rogue Lights, Justin, Team-Based Shooters, Donkey Kong. Yeah, Donkey Kong, man. Quay311 with the prayers. Yes, sir. All right, good people. Without further ado, you know how I like to end my show every night. We on, and the great words of Don Cornelius from Soul Train. Give yourself peace, provide love, and do it with your soul. Peace out. May God bless y'all. Peace.